a CNN News 18 exclusive news break that we are bringing to you because Delhi Police's line of arguments with regards to the 2020 Delhi riots, bail please, has been accessed exclusively by CNN News 18. The Delhi Police has made a shocking revelation in its 177-page affidavit. The 2020 Delhi riots was an organized regime change operation, is what the Delhi Police is all set to tell the Supreme Court. The police is now going to be making these revelations to the apex court that it was a nationwide pattern of orchestrated violence. This is what we've been able to access. Let's quickly go across to Ananya Bhatnagar, who's bringing us that big exclusive. So Ananya, going through the details that are now emerging, this does seem like an operation which was meant to bring in a regime change in the national capital.
Well, absolutely. It was, in fact, to topple the government in India, and that too, it was at a time when the US President Donald Trump was on a visit to India. Is what the Delhi Police's investigators have gone on to tell the topmost court of the country. This is a 177-page affidavit that is in the process of being filed before, in fact, the topmost court of the country, or the Supreme Court. And, the big revelation that comes out is that the 2020 Delhi riots was nothing more than a regime change operation, that too at a time when Donald Trump was in India. The investigators have told, in fact, the topmost court of the country that, this is, in fact, completely corroborated through electronic and documentary evidence that there was, in fact, a plan to change or topple the government by violence. There were, in fact, same pattern of violence were repeated in Uttar Pradesh and various other states, including Maharashtra, is what, in fact, the Delhi Police's investigation has, revealed as far as these 2020 Delhi riots are concerned. Remember, these affidavits are being filed in response to the bail pleas that have been filed by Umar Khalid, Sharjeel Imam, etc. And very categorically, this is, in fact, one of the finest charge sheets that the Delhi Police had filed, 2,000 pages of charge sheet in this particular case, the main charge sheet, and then subsequently 4 more charge sheets were actually filed by, in fact, the Delhi Police's special cell that was investigating this FIR 59 with regards to the larger conspiracy that led to these Delhi riots. And now this big revelation coming in that, it was a regime change operation, and it was to hit the sovereignty and integrity of India. And that is exactly why, these people should not be granted bail, is what the Delhi Police has gone on to tell.
All right, let me quickly go across. Stay with me, Ananya. Let me quickly bring in Mr. Swapnil Kothari, who is a senior advocate, joining me on the phone line. Mr. Kothari, how do you put this into perspective? Can public dissent be actually weaponized to bring in regime changes, going by the findings of the Delhi Police?
Well, definitely. I mean, I don't believe for a moment that riots have taken place just on the spur of the moment. They've always been an organized activity. That's the reason why not only do they fall under IPC, but at times they fall under organized crime, the Makuka also, which if it were to happen in the state of Maharashtra. So something like that is always organized. It's premeditated. It doesn't happen spontaneously. Now, Delhi police may say these things and they will have to buttress it with further evidence, which I'm sure they must be having. That's the reason why they're going to put it on, affidavit. And just a couple of days before, the Supreme Court gave them a rap saying that why haven't you responded, against the bail pleas? Because there are these bail pleas of these 4 or 5 individuals who've been accused of this particular riot or participating in this riot. So, the Supreme Court is in no mood to tolerate any further delay, and they are going to take up this response to whatever extent it may hold water in a court of law, depending upon the evidence that the Delhi police buttresses to support their claims. And to answer your question, once again, yes, definitely these things, you can weaponize public dissent, because if you are opposing the CAA and all of those things which happened at that time, and it was quite in a state of controversy, given the many angles that add to it. So if you want to do that, people do weaponize it, and things have happened before, and things have happened in my
city. And they continue to happen till date, Swapnil, and that's why I want to bring you in on that aspect of how there are forces inside and outside the country that are working in unison to strike at the sovereignty and integrity of India.
Well, there's no question about it. You've seen it in this city, in Mumbai, a couple of years before there were riots. So we are not new to this. We've known about it. We've seen it. We've known how these things take place. And then there are white flags to call peace after a couple of days of complete rampage and pillage. And, the sovereignty and the integrity of the country has always been very tenuous. And people wait for an opportunity, the people who are against this country. And this happens not because of the people who are outside this country, but because there are people inside this country who go about talking very ill about this country whenever they go abroad. And, somewhere, even if they don't go abroad, somewhere, they express their dissent in a manner which can then translate into kind of riots.
All right, we leave it at that. Many thanks to you, Swapnil, for sharing your insights with us. I'm also joined in by Sardar R.P. Singh of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Many thanks to you, Mr. Singh, for joining in. What's your thought on this 177-page affidavit that's going to be now filed and presented before the Supreme Court by the Delhi Police today?
Well, this clearly exposed the game plan which was built up here to create arson, to create riots here, and to do it countrywide and not at least confined to Delhi as such, and then use CA as a weapon to build up dissent among the people, which is all on a false notion and fabricated notion. In fact, CA doesn't talk about any Indian citizen as such. It is basically for citizens who are the minorities in Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. It was to give them the citizen right here, not for the Indian Muslims at all. But a narrative was built, and I truly believe that there is a international angle to it. There is a dimension where people from abroad have tried to support such cause, and Mrs. Sonia Gandhi also from the Ramila ground said, "This par on the CA issue." I remember it was probably month of December. She said, "This बार आर पार की लड़ाई लड़ेंगे." They were also trying to instigate. I mean, Congress was party in instigating all such riots and arson.
So now there is documented evidence which backs what you are saying, that there are forces not just within the country, but also those who are joining hands from outside the country as well. What is the NDA governance now doing to counter that kind of public dissent, particularly with, say, with regards to the CAA, to counter that public dissent that's being used as a weapon?
Well, the party has already decided to hold some 1,000-odd meetings in Bengal on CA to clarify the what CA stands for and then make people understand that it doesn't hurt the rights of the Indian citizens or Muslims at all, Indian Muslims at all. It's only for people who are minorities who are persecuted in Afghanistan, Bangladesh and Pakistan. It's just giving them the right. But this is an ongoing tug of war between the forces who don't want India to grow economically and socially, and then the NDA government, which is leading India to new heights.
All right, many thanks to you, Mr. Singh, for joining in. Appreciate your time here on CNN News 18. Let me quickly bring in Ananya, who's bringing us that big exclusive. So, Ananya, what is the kind of evidence that has been pieced together by the Delhi police? Are you looking at technical evidence? Are you looking at ocular or documented or documentary-related evidence as well?
Well, absolutely. The Delhi police had, in fact, posed it before the Delhi High Court and also, in fact, before the trial court where the arguments on charge are going on. And it was a 2,000-page worth of first charge sheet that the Delhi police had filed, pinning the whole conspiracy as far as the Delhi riots is concerned. And in fact, also going on to very clearly say that, all of these accused persons, especially Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam, were the main orchestrators of this criminal conspiracy that was hatched in order to topple the government in India, and also, in fact, to bring a regime change is what, in fact, the fresh revelations have come out. In fact, documentary, ocular, technical evidence, all of that. Delhi police has cited, more than 100 witnesses are something, that the Delhi police has cited in order to show their these persons' presence and their role as far as this big conspiracy. WhatsApp chats, WhatsApp groups, various WhatsApp groups have been embedded with proper digital certification in order to show that how this
I'm running short of time, and I want to quickly bring you in because there's a sharp rebuke that's been presented by the Delhi police, since you mentioned the accused as well, because it's been known how they have managed to abuse the filing and judicial process when it came to frivolous applications, is what the Delhi police has referred to in their affidavit.
Well, absolutely. They have gone on to say that this whole, in fact, narrative of the trial being delayed is on the part of the accused person themselves, and it is not the Delhi police itself that has said it. The Delhi High Court in Taslim Ahmed versus the state of NCT, in which it had denied bail to Taslim Ahmed, who's one of the key accused as far as this case is concerned, had very categorically stated that it were the accused persons who were actually the people who had actually delayed this particular trial. And there is evidence that shows that how frivolous applications were filed, so that the framing of charges in the trial in this case can actually be delayed, and the benefit of that can actually be claimed by these accused person to get out.
Many thanks to you, Ananya, for bringing us all those latest details on this big CNN News 18 exclusive